Here's a powerful example of what microwork can do. Arfana is a woman I met a couple of months ago in India. She's from a conservative community where women are not allowed to work outside the home, and they must be accompanied by a male chaperone if they leave their houses. Prior to starting at Samasource, Arfana was making ends meet by doing piecemeal embroidery work from home for a local factory. She earned 3 US cents per blouse that she embroidered, and each one would take about 20 minutes. That's about 10 cents for 1 hour of work. She had a high school diploma, and she was desperate for a better life, so she signed up for a training course at our local center. Now, 2 years later, when I met her, Arfana is earning a living wage through Samasource. When I met her, she was busy tagging photographs of Michelle Obama for a project that we had with Getty Images. Arfana told me that she bought a cell phone and is now allowed to leave her home without a chaperone because she can call home. And she has her own bank account where she's saving up money to finish college. The only downside to our work with her is that she told me that her favorite website is not CNN or Al Jazeera, but Yahoo Celebrity News. Still, Arfana gives me hope. Samasource is really the first step in a broader vision that I have. I dream of building a family of social enterprises that all use technology in a Sama way to address fundamental injustice around the world. My latest experiment came out of a chance meeting with a retired Texan doctor in a small town in Sierra Leone, also in West Africa. I was there in 2011 on a trip with the State Department looking for Samasource partners, and it quickly became apparent that Sierra Leone was not a good location for digital work. With a literacy rate of under 30% and very low electricity in most parts of the country, it wasn't a good fit for Samasource. But I kept my eyes peeled for other ways to help. A few days into the trip, we visited a hospital in the remote town of Bo, and were greeted by local doctors. Their hospital was destitute. The facility had 2 microscopes in the entire teaching wing, no consistent electricity, and almost zero infrastructure. While these doctors were speaking, I overheard a thick accent from the American South coming down the hall, and turned around to find a surprising face. It belonged to Dr. Maggi, a retired OBGYN from Texas, discussing a condition called fistula. A fistula is a tear in the vaginal canal that can occur if a woman has complication in giving birth. Fistulas can make women incontinent, effectively crippling them. They can get serious infections, they can lose the ability to work, and they can become completely isolated from their communities. Dr. Maggi explained in the middle of that hospital that 1 in 8 women in Sierra Leone die in childbirth in their lifetimes. He introduced me to women who were in labor for 4 days, lost their children, and then lost their communities and their earning power, compounding the tragedy. Here's one girl that I met in his ward, Tiange Diawo. Tiange was raped at age 12 by a school teacher. She lost her baby after a painful birth, and then developed a fistula to make matters worse. For 4 years, she suffered at home, unable to attend school because of this condition. I learned that 3 million women like Tiange suffer from fistulas because they lack a few $100s for a simple surgery. And the problem is even bigger than that. About 2 billion people around the world have no access to surgical care for other treatable conditions, such as cleft lip, cataract removal, and third-degree burns. Renowned physician Dr. Paul Farmer calls surgery the neglected stepchild of global health because big foundations are focused on preventative care, which is seen as having a higher return on donor dollars. So they want to fund vaccines and medication. They don't want to fund very costly treatments.